About 300 million CHEP pallets go through global supply chains every day. But if you aren't careful, you can run into all sorts of issues, like extra labor costs, collapsed pallets, automation jams, and falls from height. Let's look at some best practices to keep you, your pallets, and your products safe and secure. Before you begin, check the load capacity of your equipment and confirm you haven't bitten off more than you can chew. Then, inspect your equipment and the pallet to be sure they're in good shape. Finally, confirm the product is stable and secure. Make a clean entrance using your forklift or pallet jack. If you're using a forklift, enter the pallet square on and align with the center of the load to keep things nice and stable. Adjust the fork as wide as possible to provide even distribution of the weight, and keep your tines horizontal to the ground and make sure they hit dead center to avoid damage to the top or bottom deck. Entering a pallet at an angle can wreak all kinds of havoc. It's not bad. Ensure tines and forks don't protrude past the back edge of the pallet and are inserted completely into the pallet before lifting. If your tines don't reach the end of the pallet because they're too short or aren't inserted far enough, the pallet could be damaged or tip over once you tilt back. If you're using a forklift, make sure the unit load gently makes contact with the load backrest before raising the load and tilting back. If you're using a pallet jack, enter the pallet slowly and be sure your wheels clear the bottom deck boards before you lift the jack. Otherwise, you'll split the bottom deck away from the pallet, making for a damaged pallet and an unsafe platform. When you enter a pallet, you want to keep it low and slow. Never enter a pallet on the run. It may look cool, but if you damage the pallet or product in the process, is it really worth it? Well, no. Whether or not your pallet is loaded, pick it up carefully and keep your forks as low to the ground as possible when you're on the move, with your mast tilted back. And don't push your pallets around. Bulldozing them along the ground can damage not only your product in the pallet, but the floor and your forklift too. At the end of the day, it's about being kind to your CHEP pallets. That'll ensure they last, so you can maintain a safer and more controlled working environment.